Well, hello, good day, and welcome back to the Certified Jordan channel. Today, we are going to be, as promised in a short, look at this little scooter we have here. It's a big boy. It's an Adventure 150 RS scooter that we are looking at. We are going to be fixing all the plastics, paint everything. We are going to rebuild the engine and then reassemble the entire thing to showcase what we've done. So you'll see the color and things in this episode and the paintwork. It's going to look, I think, very pretty. So without wasting any time, let's get outside. I'm going to take the scooter outside and we are going to start prepping panels for paint.
All right, so we are about to start with the body repair process to get all of these panels prepared for paint. This section, bottom section here, this orange section at the bottom, and this piece. All of this here, guys, we are not going to paint because you're constantly putting your foot here, your feet, and it's just not going to last. So this section here we're going to treat with a plastic restorer kit. Not that it's faded or anything, but we want to keep it looking like new. And also all of these plastics here on the top we are not going to touch. However, the mirrors we are going to paint. They are a bit faded, I'll show you now. And this section at the back tailpiece, this entire black piece here, is going to be painted, including the tail light. Just get the camera a bit closer. This is because of my degreaser. It's not dirt, it's not damaged or anything. I can always just quickly clean that up, but it's going to be flattened now anyway, so that doesn't matter. Look at this mirror stems. You can see there, that's why we are going to be painting them. They are faded. Also going to be painted. This will be painted. All of that. The side plastic, as well as this entire section, including that whole part, and this faded, very badly faded reflector we are going to replace with an original Honda reflector that will never fade. These we're going to see if we lightly sand just the lens and we spray the entire little flicker except the rubber foot piece there. So in other words, from here this way, the whole thing with clear lac, if that's going to solve this fading effect. We have the same going on here. We'll give it a light flat. The rest of the light actually looks quite good, but here on the top it shows signs of fading. The speedometer area, no real signs of fading. All of these plastics will be treated and they will come out nice. You can see this whole section looks very, very good. So if I take this plastic off, just look at the condition of the frame there. This scooter is not in a bad condition, guys. Unfortunately, all of these stickers has clear coat over them, so we're going to be in for a bit of sanding, but let's get that process started. And then the reason why I leave it like this is these plastics are extremely difficult to try and hold on to whilst you are sanding. So what I'll do, I'll sand up to about here because I don't want to touch the headlights with a sanding machine. Same around here. I'll see how far I can get here without touching this. But I want to see if I can sand as much as possible without removing, and then after I've removed the plastics, I can just, sorry guys, can just manually come in and sand these pieces right around the head, like the difficult areas to get to. I can then sand those. So let's get started with this project. If you see me taking plastics off, then it means that it's easier to rather take them off than sanding them on the bike. If you look at this section here, I'll be able to get in here with a sander. I'll be able to get in here, but I won't be able to go higher than this because of this piece here. So I'll be able to sand more or less this section. I won't be able to sand that. So yeah, let's see. Let's get the sander. Let's get some sanding pads and let's get sanding.
Now, just to set your mind at ease, the video footage here and the hyperlapse system and algorithm used by my camera is actually extremely fast. So this looks like it's very quick, but this has taken me a couple of hours. You'll see a bit later that my index finger on my right hand, the fingernail becomes so sore that I'm actually not using it anymore to pull the stickers off. It feels like my nails are going to fall off. But this is a lengthy process, guys, but if you want to do it right, this is a way to do it. You have to get that clear coat sanded off of the stickers and the decals. And then I'm trying to remove as much of the decal manually as possible, because it just clogs up your sanding disc completely and quickly. So I'm trying to sand the clear coat off the sticker, and then I'm peeling it off by hand as much as possible. You can see I'm not using my index finger, and I'm not even halfway through yet. And it was just a whole lot of sanding to get all of those plastics nice and scuffed up and all of those decals removed, and then from there we go ahead. Guys, or just a couple of pictures of before. There you can see what it looked like before, without the engine in, unfortunately. And then I'll show you what it looked like after all the sanding. Lots and lots of sanding. you can see the nose piece sanded. Some stickers left on the top little fairing there, but that will be taken care of. I couldn't get in there with my sanding machine with a little indicator still in place there. You can see me starting to remove some of those plastic panels. I'm taking those indicators out so that I can get in there, manually pull them off, and then sand the surface and prep it for primer.
So this scooter is completely stripped. There's a little tail light that will receive a clear coat. This will be washed before we reassemble anything. Here's a little mud guard. Here's the entire front fairing. The headlight needs to come out. Everything is loose. That little parking light will also be taken out, as well as the headlights. And there's the tail fairing. I will remove the reflector and the indicators, but not the number plate light. We'll just mask the lens on that on the bottom, because that will be painted black with a matte clear coat on it. But here you go. Here's a little scooter. So these plastics are far from ready for primer. Everything you see here is coarse, as it was sanded with 150 to get all the stickers off. So now we're going to move to the 220s lying right there. Then we're going to move to a 320, then a 400. Thereafter, it will receive its primer. So we're first going to do a MS primer, 2 coats, then it will be flatted, then an edge primer, and then we will add the color. This is the pink color that the owner decided on. Very, very nice color, and I think that's going to look good. It's going to be a combination between white and pink. It's a 2-stage paint, so it's a base coat with a clear coat sprayed over it. It's not a 2K. We opted for the clear coat just to protect the paint even more and to make sure that it's lasting a longer time. As I was stripping this bike, it was quite adamant that nobody has stripped this bike before. No screws were stripped or any visual markings of screwdrivers and things. I mean, you can have a look here. That has never been taken off. Likewise for any of the other plastics. It's never been opened before. So I'm going to get to sanding this completely to get it ready for primer. So we've got some stuff for the bodywork of this little scooter. We got some masking tape. We have a whole lot of 320 sanding pads. Got a whole lot of 400. I've got the rest 600, 800 and all of that. So we've got that. I've got only one pad 2000 and one pad 3000. This will be used for the tail light, just to get that all freshened up before we give it a coat of clear lac. We have 5 liters lacquer thinners. We have 2 liters 2K thinner, 2 liters base coat thinner, solvent product of Excella. This is pre-wipe degreaser or prep wipe as I call it. Hardener, clear coat, 2 liters of edge primer, base coat. This is a product white. And then the owner decided on this very pretty pink color to go with the white. We have some of that very hard stuff that I always complain about. That's hard to work with, but excellent to fix broken plastics from the back. That's what I use that for, and some spot putty, as well as normal paint strainers. So we are still busy with the prepping process. The plastics are almost ready to go into prime, and then after prime, I'll rope you in. I'll show you the prime products or the prime plastics, and then thereafter I'll put you on a time lapse. Then I didn't want to bore you with all the sanding and all the priming work. But then what we'll do is I'll put you on a time lapse for the painting process, because you'll see that there's a lot of the plastics that's going to be majority white with a pink line, or the other plastics will be majority pink with a white line or a stripe or an accent or something. So we'll have to, I think what I'm first going to do is I'm going to paint most of the plastics in white, and then we'll mask off and paint the pink accents where we want the pink accents. So yeah, we'll do it that way around. But I'll put you on a time lapse, and we'll get working on that. Before I forget, this thing lying here is a paint gun cleaning kit that I've purchased. It's got all different sizes, shapes and flavors of bottle brushes. There's a little brush. There's a whole little tube with small brushes, and it's got these pinching stuff for needles. It also looks like jet files, and it's got this nice lengthy with a bend type of bottle brush. There's gun cleaner, you can see it's a liquid. This is a very nice brush to clean inside of the cups cap, inside the threads there. And this is all small brushes it's got in there, very small stuff to get all the seals and things clean. So I just wanted to show you this. The client did not pay for this, I did, because I'm going to use it for my own guns. Right.
So everything you can see here has been primed, painted white, masked off, painted pink, unmasked, and then clear coated. I'm very happy with the end result. It's nice and shiny. There's minimal dust ingress there. I do quite a lot of preparations in my little spray area to minimize dust as much as possible. I've also installed some nice and good extractor fans, so I'm really trying to get my dust down as much as possible. I think it came out beautifully. It's going to suit the lady owner very well. It's a very pretty color of pink and white. The combination goes well together. And thanks for sticking around, viewers. If this is a content that you like to see, please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a like, and share it with your friends and family, please. It will be much appreciated. In the second episode, we will be doing the engine build. You're going to have to bear with me. That's going to be a long video. And then in the third episode, we will be reassembling the motorcycle completely. Thanks so much for watching, viewers. Until I see you in the next one. Cheers.